Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, faithful. Welcome to the Niner Sickness podcast on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. We have a great show. I have two great guests with me today. We're going to be talking 49er football. We're going to talk about, all the topics that are out there right now. That Jimmy Garoppolo, where he's going, all the moves that have been taking place so far. Free agency starts next Wednesday. Are we going to be able to move Garoppolo by then? These are the things that we're going to talk about. And then towards the end of the show, we're going to have what I like to call 49er trivia. And my two guests will have to answer questions amongst each other. And the one that gets the most questions correct will win a 49er patch. So it'll be fun. And so sit back, put on your seatbelt, get your popcorn ready, and let's get ready to enjoy the show. Let me just welcome people as they're coming in. No Border Sports, welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome to the stream. We got Don Dotson. How you doing, Don? It's been a minute. We got Super Gremlin podcast in the house. Welcome. Dina is in the house. How you doing, Dina? Thank you for wiping your feet. I appreciate that. We got Tony Smith popping in. I appreciate you guys popping in, and thank you for wiping your feet. As I like to say it, wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button. Well, with no further ado, hey, David, how you doing, David? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for wiping your feet. Eddie, thank you for wiping your feet. How you doing, Eddie? Luis Moreno's in the house. How you doing, Luis? Welcome, welcome. So no further ado, let me bring in my guests. I know you guys did not come to watch me, but to watch my guests. With no further ado, let me introduce you to 49ers First Take and Colts Chronicles. Gentlemen, welcome. We'll start off with you, Aaron. How you doing, Aaron?
Pretty well. It's cold outside, but I feel the warmth from all the Niners fans in here, ready to talk some football as we approach free agency, and hopefully we can move on from Jimmy Garoppolo in the next couple days. But yeah, feeling good.
Great. And what about you, Rich? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Blessed, blessed, blessed. I'm in the Bay Area, so it's a little bit warmer. So, we got that going for us. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Beto?
Yeah,
What's going on?
I hear you with that. The weather here is beautiful, especially today, man. It's one of those. Even my wife's like, "You doing a show today?" She was giving me that hint that it's such a beautiful day, and I have a show scheduled for tomorrow that I might have to move because she gave me that hint today. So I don't think she's going to give me a pass for tomorrow. So take advantage of these beautiful days that God gives us. But it's the off season, gentlemen. A lot of things going on, not necessarily with the 49ers. We signed a couple of our picks back that we kind of thought we would, like our receiver, Jawan Jennings, Kevin Givens, we brought back Jermichael Hasty. But the DJ Jones, the Lincoln Tomlinsons, and the Arden Keys, it looks like they're going to test the market. It looks like they're going to see what their value is out there, and rightfully so. I always like to say that, yes, we're fans, and we look at things as fans, but it is a business, and we need to realize that these players have to take care of their families first and themselves. So as much as we look at it as a fan base, they got to take care of themselves. Let me start with you, Aaron. Where do you think Lincoln will wind up at? You think he'll wind up with us? You think he'll wind up with maybe the Bengals or Miami? What's your thoughts on him?
I don't think he's going to come back. I think it's going to become a bidding war for him, and I think the Niners have kind of a set price for him because of all the other things that they have to do as far as, you have to sign your draft picks. You have to resign. You sign your draft picks, resign some of your own free agents, and then also if you want to add a free agent or two, I just think the Niners are not going to get into a bidding war. Plus, I think they drafted Aaron Banks in preparation for this year. That there's a chance because of how healthy Laken Tomlinson has stayed and how productive he's been over the last however many years he's been here, that the Niners pretty much, I think they might have, I don't know if they redshirted Aaron Banks. I just think he wasn't ready last year. But from the way things are looking, with Aaron Banks being here, and having an off season under his belt, and now he's going to have, this coming off season. I think the Niners prepared themselves to possibly move on. You can't overpay for a guard, especially when you have so many other needs on the team.
Yeah, very well said. And I think with the whole Aaron Banks, Aaron, is that they brought him in. I think they brought him in to eventually take over Lincoln Tomlinson's spot because he is a natural left guard. I mean, he plays center. He had to play center because they had Nelson. When you have Nelson at guard, you're going to play center, but he's a natural left guard, Aaron Banks is. And they brought him in, I believe, for that reason. Now, they try to put him at right guard to kind of get a test the waters to see what he can do. And people don't realize just because you play very well one position, it doesn't mean they can translate to the other side. Just like if you're left-handed, it doesn't mean you can right-handed and vice versa. And I think it didn't work out. But I think that you're right. If Lincoln does move on because overpaying for someone, I think you overpay for someone like Big Trent, which we did, but you don't do that necessarily for a guard. You do it more for a tackle. At least not Lincoln's stature. I mean, he's done great for us. He's a great guard, but he's not that Williams type of leadership, in my opinion. So you're right. I think Miami will go after him. So I wish he would stay, but we do have Aaron Banks. One thing I noticed with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they always are thinking one step ahead. They're always trying to bring pieces into this organization that eventually when someone else leaves, they can plug and play. Rich, let me ask you with the DJ Jones on the defensive side, where do you think he will end up? Do you think he'll come back to us, or do you think he'll move on to a different team, and why?
Man, it's super hard to bring everybody back in these in these times. It's a different day in the NFL where, back in the day it was easy to, just hold on to the same team year after year. So it looks like it's going to be hard to keep, both of them, to be honest. I think we probably have a better chance to keep DJ, maybe more than Lincoln. Lincoln seems like he might be more expensive. Maybe, who really knows? And as far as where he could wind up, I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to just make a random guess. It feels like Miami is the number one team where all of our guys could go. Just with Mike McDaniels and so forth, with just how everything's panning out. But I think we definitely could see DJ Jones back with us more than Lincoln Tomlinson. I think there was a little bit of news talking about Tomlinson today as well. As far as him, it's looking like he might not be coming back with us. So, and then on top of it, it looks like we have more, like we've planned more for the offensive line as far as Aaron Banks, Jalen Moore, and a few guys that we have on the offensive line compared to trying to replace someone like DJ Jones, even though we're stacked on the defensive line as well. So, we possibly might see both of them, go to another team.
Yeah, I think a team that DJ Jones, hopefully he'll re-sign with the Niners and stay here with Chris Kocurek as a D-line coach. But I think the Jets will be a team that could heavily pursue him. He's familiar with Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh wanted him last year, so that can be a possible landing spot for him. And I know a lot of people are not very high on Javon Kinlaw because I don't know if it's because of the reference that he got drafted in the spot of DeForest Buckner. And a lot of people loved DeForest Buckner and hated him leaving to the Colts and kind of have a stigma towards Javon Kinlaw. But I think Javon Kinlaw will be able to replace DJ Jones fairly well if he needs to be. I noticed that against the Bears this year, we moved Eric Armstead from the outside to the 3 technique in the middle, right? And he's just been killing it there. The natural spot for Javon Kinlaw is the 3 technique, not the nose tackle, We drafted him for that 3 technique. But as good as Eric Armstead has played in that position, what are you guys' thoughts? And I'll start with you, Aaron, and I'll finish it with you, Richard. What are your thoughts on moving Javon Kinlaw to the nose tackle and keeping Armstead at the 3 technique and plugging that middle with those 2 guys? What are your thoughts with that, Aaron?
I think the one thing we got to remember about DJ Jones is not only is he a good run defender, but he's also a decent pass rusher. And I think that's where Javon Kinlaw has the disadvantage. He's got the body, he's got the size. It's just a matter, I think he can play inside. It's just he plays better against the run than he does against the pass. So he would anchor that middle, which is fine. My whole thing with him is, and my whole issue really with him is, can he stay healthy? He had red flags coming out of college with that knee. They drafted him anyways, and then it ended up biting them in the behind this offseason, or this going into this past season. So do I think he can do well in that position? Absolutely. But it's going to be a matter of his body holding up, and he's got to improve as a pass rusher. Because I've seen other people who, other content creators kind of talk about how, what he does well against the run, he does not very well against the pass. And DJ Jones, it's weird. He's shaped so low to the ground and such low center of gravity, big guy, but man, he can really get in there and push the pocket. So if Javon Kinlaw could do that and stay healthy, then I think it's a great move into the middle. So we'll see. Yeah.
Okay. And your thoughts, Richard, on that?
What have you done for me lately? I feel like it's just,
Yep.
I feel like it's so quick. 1 year, if you're not on the field, oh, he's trash. Oh, he's garbage. Oh, we don't need those issues. It's like, sometimes, I used to be super impatient about things, maybe not necessarily the injuries and things like that. So it's like, I understand it, but it's just, that's the world we're living in. I want it right now. I want it instantly. What have you done for me lately type attitude. So I think it's just, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see him put together 8 straight games if he can. I hope he can. I'm ready to see him put together a full season, and I think he can be a beast on inside, outside. I think once you are fully healthy and if you've put in the work, you're going to be able to wreak havoc regardless of where you're at, especially if you have guys like Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, DJ Jones, and you're subbing guys in and out, second, third, fourth, whatever down it is. You're getting fresh bodies in there that are with that kind of talent and that kind of, if you got the motor going and you're healthy, I think it's going to just be, a beautiful thing to watch. I think we're going to improve. I hope he's able to stay on the field because it should be fun to watch for sure. I think he could be a monster. I'll just say, I predicted last year that he was going to have a huge year, Javon Kinlaw. So I'm going to say the same thing this year. I think this is the year where he's going to be healthy. People are going to kind of go back and be like, oh man, I had it wrong. This kid's a monster. He's good. I think that's what's going to happen with Kinlaw.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about Kinlaw, and to Aaron's fact about rushing the passer, you always want any of your D linemen the ability to rush the passer. But with Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, and the kid that we brought from the Texans, I can't remember, Charlie.
Menahe?
Yeah, Menahe. Yeah. I think he's a young kid that is going to develop into a great, decent pass rusher alongside Bosa. Do we really need to emphasize Javon Kinlaw being that pass rusher? As long as he can be that guy that we can bring in and running downs where he can stuff the middle. This guy covets 2 defenders. And 2 alignments. So as long as he can open it up for the linebackers to do their thing, I think it's awesome if he can be the pass rusher that we want him to be. But I think that as long as he's able to dominate the run, which we know he can, and then kind of take on those 2 players and allow the linebackers to run freely, the Fred Warner and hopefully Bobby Wagner, that'll be a nice to see. But you're right. What time will tell. What have you done for me lately? It's definitely the thing that we're waiting on. We have Christopher. They came in, and he says, "Man, I keep waking up disappointed." Laughing out loud. We need Jimmy to get traded so that we can make some moves. Yeah, it's kind of like he's holding us back, isn't he? Like financially, it's like this nightmare that it just won't end, bro. It won't end, and it's like he's trying to stick it out. And I think a lot of it had to do. I understand the surgery was necessary. I understand he had to take care of that to be ready for the 22 season. But it seems like, man, talk about timing. I wanted to ask you guys, if Jimmy did not necessarily need that surgery, and that surgery did not happen, do you think the Washington Commanders would have taken him over Carson Wentz? I'll go ahead and ask you, Richard, and then I'll have Aaron answer that.
I'll just make it, just a guess. I don't think the shoulder surgery had anything to do with anyone's perception. I think if anybody liked Garoppolo, they're going to go after him regardless. I think it's more of the 49ers just trying to squeeze every drop they can. They're just trying to, that, hey, if you can go from getting a second round and it being, pick number 55 compared to pick number, 50, I feel like the 49ers are going to do it. Whatever, I could be off on the picks or whatever, but I just feel like the 49ers are just trying to make the best cup of lemonade they can and squeeze every single drop that they can out of it, and, which they should do, hey, you might as well, man, if we could pick up, a little off topic, but if we could grab, someone who they really, really want in the draft without having to make a trade and lose some draft picks, they're going to try to go do that for sure, whether it be a Christian Watson paired up with, an edge rusher or a cornerback or safety. So I think if a team wants Garoppolo, they're going to go after it. The 49ers are just trying to be patient and get what they could get.
Yeah, I agree. What's your thoughts on that, Aaron?
I think the shoulder situation definitely has thrown a wrench into things just because teams have to do their due diligence with the medical side of things. You're not going to go trade for somebody without checking to see if the surgery went well and if he's going to be on time with his recovery. So I think that mixed with the fact that the Niners are trying to be the smartest person in the room and trying to get as much out of it. Even though teams might look at him as a second rounder, the Niners might not necessarily look at him as a first rounder, but they're going to give off that perception because why wouldn't you? You want to get as much as you can in a trade. Can I say one real quick thing about Javon Kinlaw?
Sure.
The thing about Kinlaw and why I brought up the pass rush part is because of who he replaced and how good of a pass rusher DeForest Buckner was. When you get drafted in the top 15, the expectation is for you not just to be a run stuffer.
True.
You can't. That's not the expectation for a person who's just a run stuffer. Might be like a third or fourth round defensive tackle. We bring them in just to stop the run. When you're drafted top 15, he was pretty much going to replace DeForest on a cheaper deal, pretty much. So the expectation, I understand, like we as fans, we'll take what we can get but the expectation I think from the organization was that that's what he was supposed to do. So, yeah. But as far as the Garoppolo situation, I think the medical side of it, and then the side of the Niners trying to be the smartest people in the room and trying to get as much as they can from the trade is definitely holding it up. So hopefully it ends soon because, like you guys said, man, Wednesday, man, we got to be under that. We got to be under the cat, man. And I don't know. I understand what they're trying to do. I understand that that's what you do. It's the business side of it, but I'm getting a little impatient myself. I made a quick little video on channel and people are like, Aaron, relax. It's all good. I'm like, I know, but still I'm stressing out about it. So, because I want us to start moving on into the off season. I want to start hearing, DJ Reed might come back, or maybe the Niners are going to go after a guy like Chandler Jones, any of that stuff, but nothing's happened yet. So we're not hearing anything. So yeah, that's my thought on that.
I hear you. And real quick, I like to play the 49er horn, touchdown horn, every time I get a super chat. I just want to say thank you to David McNew with a $5 super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. New with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that donation. Does the shoulder surgery affect Jimmy's ability to pass a physical? Good question. Aaron, go ahead and, since you're waving your head, go ahead and answer that question, brother.
Absolutely. He has to pass it. So it can. Hopefully the surgery went well and, they can kind of project into the future what his shoulder is going to be in, say, 3 months. But I mean, the prognosis after the surgery was he can't throw for 16 weeks, which is like 4 months, which would be right around training camp, or I don't know, 16, 14. I don't know exactly the weeks, but yeah, it definitely can affect. But the type of surgery it was, they said it was a burst capsule. It wasn't a rotator cuff. So it seems like a pretty low complication surgery. It's not like, you have rotator cuff or whatever. That's a big deal. That's a major, major rehab. I've had shoulder surgery twice, and usually 3 months is kind of the minimum of the amount of rehab you can have before you go back doing stuff normal. So hopefully that's the case with Jimmy G.
Yeah. They say that he, according to what I've read, I guess they had a shoulder specialist perform the surgery on Jimmy, and he stated that he should be ready to go by the beginning of training camp. So he'll miss the OTAs and so forth, but he'll be ready for training camp. But I know that teams got to do their due diligence. They got to look at everything. They got to get their doctors to look at, to confirm what the doctor that operated on Jimmy is correct. So I know that takes time, but you're right. Free agency is just around the corner. There's so many things we want to do. A lot of the things is that the Niners, I heard someone say that the Niners were offered a second round pick for Jimmy, and they refused it. They want to get a 1. Now, this is the funny part. It's irritating because we want Jimmy out of here and we want a draft pick. But if John Lynch does get a 1, I'm not saying he will, but if he does, then we're like, oh, wow, that's cool, right? So darn if you do, darn if you don't. But I also, in the same token, I hope they don't get greedy where it bites them in the butt, where we want a 1. Now they lose the number 2, and now they can't even get a 3 for him. And that has happened in the past. So I'm surprised they did not jump at that second round, if that is accurate. And I believe it was John Melikoff, whatever his name is, that said it on his podcast. So what's your thoughts, man? If you were the GM, and I'll start with you, Richard. If you were the GM and they offer you a number 2, I don't know what other else, but the 2 was in play, would you have moved on it for Jimmy?
Oh, it's so hard to think about business and emotions, and thank God I'm not in the organization, because I get it. I get extremely emotional sometimes, and I would have jumped the gun a long time ago and just did something off the hook, and just cut him. Been like, hey, I'm done. Hey, I care enough about the fan base, and I care maybe too much. But actually, I don't think it's too much, maybe. But to be in a position like that, it's I don't like the division, the just shaky foundation. I know they have a plan. I know sometimes there's a method to the goodness. I don't like to say madness, but, trying to be a genius, trying to be smarter than everybody. So, I look at it like, yeah, man, it's just a tough situation. Me, I would have already jumped on the number 2, been like, holy, I wouldn't have thought that we were going to be able to get a number 2, even though in the past I did say all it takes is one team to fall in love with him. It just takes one team to say, hey, I do view him as a first round pick. There might be a team out there who, you kind of look at the Colts and they got Taylor at the running back position. I've heard people say, hey, they don't got nobody that could are yak players, but we don't necessarily know if some of those guys like Pittman are a yak player unless you have a quarterback who's more of a yak quarterback, if I will. So all it takes is one team to fall in love with him. There could be a team out there right now that views him like that. Maybe not. Um, hey, I would take a second round pick in a heartbeat, man, just to, be done with it, just to move on and hop on solid foundation. I know the 49ers probably already think we're in that situation regardless. So,
Yeah, very good point. And Aaron, I'm going to have you answer that same question in a minute, but I just wanted to answer Christopher comment here. He says, I read a report. I think this is, I find it funny though, but I want to get your guys' thoughts after. But I found in the report that he had the surgery on purpose, slightly to stick it to the Niners. But in that theory, for what I've heard, is he had an issue with his shoulder and his thumb. And I forgot what player in basketball hurt the same thumb, and he has surgery, and I think he's going to have surgery. And my point being is, you're going to miss more time if you would have chose the thumb surgery over the shoulder surgery. So to me, I thought that if he wanted to stick it to the Niners, wouldn't he have gone for the thumb surgery instead of the shoulder? I don't think Jimmy's the type of character that would do something like that, personally. I think he just, people say, like, why did it take so long to get the surgery done now and not getting it done immediately after the last game they played? Well, but what I heard as well is that this particular injury of the shoulder, sometimes it can be worked out with rehab. You can do rehab. You can try to avoid surgery. And I think Jimmy and his team and the physician really tried to go the route of not having surgery and try to do rehab, but they came to the conclusion that it wasn't working, and they finally decided, well, the only outcome is to have surgery, and this is why they had the surgery at this time around. So the whole conspiracy that he wanted to stick it to the Niners, I don't know if you guys believe in that or if you think it's true, but I want to get Aaron's thoughts on it. Do you think it's a conspiracy that he wanted to stick it to the Niners, or do you think he just needed surgery and he got it done?
There was a report out there that the Niners were actually upset at his agent, Don Yee, for taking so long to not have the surgery right away, because the thought was they knew that he needed the surgery, and it should have been done right after the season ended. So the fact that he waited till the verge of free agency to do it, and they think Don Yee is trying to double dip.
Okay.
Because if the Niners can't find a trade partner and they cut him, the Niners have to pay a $7 million injuries. They have to pay it's like an injury penalty or something that they have to pay. I forget the name of it. So some people do think that Don Yee, his agent, purposely made him wait so that if they can't get a trade partner and they cut him, not only did they get the $7 million from the injury settlement, but then they're going to get whatever they get out of wherever he signs. So I can understand that situation and I'm not necessarily, I don't know the workings of behind the scenes, but it does seem a little weird that they waited so long to get the surgery when you knew exactly what it was and what it would entail. But we'll see. If he doesn't get released or traded within the next couple of days and they end up cutting him, that's going to be disastrous for what the Niners want to do. That's going to be $7 million in dead money that we can't use. So it does seem like a fishy situation, but I guess we'll know in a couple days if that was the case or if the Niners really are just trying to do their due diligence.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting. Now, I know they're trying to trade him. Now, I'm not too familiar with all the cap situation and the finance part of it, but I know that they have up to June 1st to cut him. So if they don't trade him, if they don't make a trade by Wednesday, they still have up to the draft. And a lot of times you see players get traded during draft week because, the draft is getting lined up and they're talking to GMs and they make initial trades. So just because he doesn't get traded, I hope he does, but just hope if he doesn't get traded by these next couple of days, do you see him being cut prior to the draft, or do you think they're going to still make an attempt to try to trade him during the draft? And I'll go ahead and have Richard answer that first.
It's funny you bring that up because, and to answer the other question as well, before knowing any of the contract stuff, the $7 million, my first instinct, there's sometimes where I won't go try to know everything about the situation and let my own instincts kind of think for itself. And that was my first instinct was how come it took so long? So and then for that to be part of the reason of what's making things, so-called complicated between the Niners and Garoppolo, that was my initial instinct was how come it took, so long for it to kind of, hey, let's see if it heals up on its own, or it feels like it would have happened faster. And then to the next point, I think I had, a feeling, to be honest, I had a vision. I had a vision of Garoppolo being traded during the draft. Sometimes, I get little weird feelings or I get instinctful little feelings. And a lot of the times it winds up happening, who knows? I would love to wake up on Monday, at 12 o'clock, sometime around 12 o'clock and find out Jimmy was traded. I think if it is going to happen, I wouldn't doubt it if it's going to be Monday. But I got a feeling that it could be something, during the draft.
Very good point. And before I go to the next super chat that just popped up, Aaron, so what do you think, man? If we don't trade him in the next couple of days, do you think we cut him, or do you think we hold on to him and try to continue to try to get some trade value for him during the draft weekend?
Well, they have to be under the cap by the beginning of free agency, so they have to do something, whether it's cut him, trade him, or they have to restructure a couple contracts to get under. If they're not, everybody has to be under the cap by the start of free agency. So something has to happen. Could they trade him during the draft? Possibly. But they have to. That's why I'm so frustrated, is because you want to do restructures, maybe free up some money. You might want to cut a guy, say like a Samson Ebukam, who's owed he would free up like $6 million. The Niners right now are $9 million and change over the cap. So what's going on?
Something has to happen.
Something needs to happen, whether it's him staying and being traded to the draft. Someone needs to get there needs to be some restructures, whether it's Jimmy Ward or DeForest Buckner or Samson Ebukam. But we'll see, man. But something has to happen, because if not, they're going to be in some deep doo-doo.
No, I agree. Let me go to that super chat real quick. Thank you for the $10 super chat from Corey Davis. Let's get the horn going.
San Francisco! Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go.
Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Corey Davis, for that $10 super chat. He says, I am about to get off of here because my phone is about to die. And the Empire, I hope I didn't take too long to bring up your super chat and you're not even watching this anymore. Please give me and my family in prayer. I just lost my brother. Today.
Oh, that's
sorry for the horn. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have read it. Okay. Well, my apologies for that. My condolences, Corey. So sorry to hear that, man. Definitely will be sending prayers towards you and your family in this time of sorrow, man. It's never easy to lose a loved one. I've lost a lot of people in my life. I lost my brother, my sister, my child. My parents. So it's not easy, man. So my condolences, Corey. Thank you for the super chat, man. But prayers for you and your family, most definitely, Corey. God bless you. Yeah. Hang in there, brother. And if you need to talk, you know that you can DM me anytime, and we'll talk, brother. Thank you for that super chat. You're right. We're $9 million over the cap. Something needs to be done. That's why the frustrating of the Garoppolo situation is it's lingering. I know the Niners have to make some type of restructuring on the contracts. They were thinking about maybe Eric Armstead. I think they did something with Jimmy Ward already, but they got to free up that money. I know Parag Mote will do something, but the best outcome is just to trade. I mean, that automatically put us under. Just trading Jimmy puts us under the cap. And then we can figure out restructuring other contracts if we need to. But you're right, something needs to happen. But then, I know it's only a few days, but I mean, things can happen tomorrow, can happen on Monday. We just don't know. But we just have to keep our fingers crossed and see. Maybe the Niners have a team already that they'll trade with. I don't know. It is frustrating though that the fact that, and I personally have nothing against Jimmy. I know a lot of people don't like Jimmy, and that's fine. I respect that as well. I have nothing against Jimmy. I think Jimmy did his best while being here. Did he have some things that I didn't like throwing some dumb bonehead interception? Yes, but we won a lot of games with him. I never say because of him, but I say with him. I'm just excited about Trey Lance, the young man, and I think Trey Lance can do what Jimmy did. I don't think that people forget that we're not replacing Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, where you're like, wow, the expectations for Trey is like huge, right? Well, they're not. We're replacing Jimmy. No disrespect to Jimmy, but I think that Trey can do. I think that Kyle Shanahan can run the offense the way he ran it with Jimmy, where run heavy, stop the run, and just kind of use the quarterback here and there. And I think that we can do that with Trey. So, but I do want to move on from Jimmy for the whole point of kind of just understanding where we're at, which direction we're going. I hate being in limbo and being impatient, brother. It's irritating not knowing what's going to happen. And I know that if we cut him to get under the cap, I know we get a third next year, a comp third next year for cutting them this year. But that's next year. I would have wanted to get something for him this year in the draft and not just settle for the third next year. People thought that if we kept him and we cut him next year, we get a third. We get a third this year as well. I mean, next year for cutting him this year, but we still have to wait the waiting game. Let me ask you something, guys. Worst case scenario. Do you think the Niners are dumb enough to keep him?
I knew it was coming.
I mean, any one of you guys can answer that because it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Sometimes I smile when I get or I like to smile a lot. I don't know why. When I get nervous or I get scared or I just feel like, man, that would be the dumbest thing in the world. I just smile. I don't know why. I think it's always been a coping mechanism, but yeah, I don't think there's no way. If they do, man, oh my Lord. Get ready, y'all. Like buckle up and get ready. There might be some peaceful protesting or something going on because I don't God, man, that was one of the questions last year is like, we potentially could have, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but that was one of the things last year. It's like why are we gonna pay this much when we have this right behind? And if we do it again, there might be a few people on the hot seat. I mean, hey, if it happens and we win a Super Bowl, it's like the only possible justification is you better win a Super Bowl. Like, and that's the only way, someone's not going to get fired. So I'll stop there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let Aaron answer right now. Now, I do believe that if they do decide to keep him, they're not just going to keep him on the money that he's owed this year. They would have to restructure his contract to bring it down, but that means he's going to be here for longer, with the possibility of trading him next year. I don't know, man, but what's your thoughts on that, Aaron?
That would be a colossal failure by the front office if they had to keep him, because that means now, even if you restructure him, he's still going to get money. That money can go towards a free agent or two, or keeping this guy or that guy. And now you're going to pay a guy. I'm sorry, Jimmy's not good enough to win us a Super Bowl. He's not. He's showing it. Jimmy is a mid-level starter with good accuracy over the middle, but he doesn't have the arm strength or the mental smarts to take us to that next level. And I'm just being completely honest. I mean, I was on with Jesse Naylor the other day, and me and him are both on the same agreement that just Jimmy is just Jimmy. He's a mid-level quarterback, and like if the Niners hold on to him and stunt Trey's growth another year, that would be like Rich said, someone's gonna get fired, man. Like you have to cut tear this Band-Aid off, man. Let it go. It's over with. It's time for the future, and the future's now, and future's number
Done.
5. It's over with. It's like that girlfriend
Done.
that you want to break up with, but she's so crazy that she might do something stupid, so you stay with her way too long. That's what this is right now. So
Yeah, well, to your analogy, I feel like it's that girlfriend that you break up with, but she became friends with your sister, and even though you broke up, she's still around.
So you have to be nice to her.
You have to be nice to her, exactly, bro. And it's not a good thing. I don't think it'll happen. I think John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are smart enough to do something. It's just that taking so long, man. It's just, you hear the Russell Wilson being moved. You hear Carson Wentz being moved. You hear all these things, and it's just like Jimmy is still there, and it's like that Band-Aid that needs to be taken off. And instead of just tearing it up, we're like pulling it little by little, and it's irritating. But hopefully, I don't think that, you said it yourself, Aaron, you don't want to keep hurting Lance's growth. As it is, he did not play a lot of football in college. He doesn't have that much experience. He needs to start playing. And there's only so much you can learn watching. I always like to use the illustration of driving a car. You can read on all the rules and you can watch everybody else drive, but until you get behind the steering wheel, until you feel the pedals and you feel all everything, you start looking at the mirrors and the rear mirrors and you start taking off, you start getting comfortable with the vehicle that you're in, and you get better as you go. It's time for Lance to take off, and I think he will. I even heard some people say that if they restructured Jimmy, they were going to restructure him to keep him as a backup to Ray. But I just don't see that happening either. That's just I just hope they just trade him at this point. Even if we get a 4th for him, I would take it just to get the money off the books. And that's what I'm thinking. What's your thoughts on that, Rich?
Oh yeah, man. I feel like Sudfeld could probably do what Jimmy could do.
Wow.
Nothing against the man, but to be blunt and honest, I used to call him Jimmy 22 once I really started diving in. And once you're just trapped in a box, like, yes, you could be spot on with your box that you're in, but we've had a great defense. We have had a great all-around team, and he's one of the weaker links on the team. That's my belief. And you better not have one of your weakest links better not be at quarterback, or you're going to always get this close and never finish it out. It just is what it is. That's the way I feel about it. Sometimes I hold back because I don't want to look like a hater. I'm coming at Jimmy this way, but it's over with. It's done. We just, extended, or we just gave Sudfeld another year. So that should be a sign that this coming up Monday, hopefully we are all taking a big breath and we know what's happening. And hopefully, we come up pretty good from it. So,
yeah. And just to play another devil advocate, I know that people say that, we're now playing 17 weeks of football. A lot of teams don't have the quarterback situated. A lot of teams are not good because of bad quarterback play. We have Trey. If we keep Jimmy, and I'm not advocating for Jimmy. Don't start sending me hateful emails. But I'm just saying if they keep Jimmy, they have 2 quarterbacks that they can go with. God forbid something happens to Jimmy, you can always go to Trey and continue the momentum on a Super Bowl roster and trying to win a ring. So I can understand that concept of it, but I also understand the growth that can be delayed for Trey and going forward. Not only that, but after the 4th year, that's when you got to pay your quarterback the money, right? And you got to understand what you're paying for. Is he the quarterback of the future? Is he going to be the quarterback you're going to invest pretty much heavily a lot of money into? You got to know that he's capable of playing. And if he's just sitting on the bench, kind of like the whole Jordan Love thing in Green Bay, I don't want to fall into that situation. What are they going to do with Jordan Love? Are they going to pay him? Are they going to let him go? You know what I mean? So hopefully by next week, bro, Jimmy is gone, and I do wish him the best. And let me ask you this, guys, as we transition over to Trey Lance a little bit. We move on from Jimmy. We start with Trey. understandably that Trey hasn't played a lot of football. Even though this would be his second year on the team, it's technically his first year as a rookie starting. What are your thoughts on how many games can we win with Trey? Now, keep in mind, we have a great roster, which benefits him a lot. But do you think that we can win enough games to make the playoffs and get into the playoffs? Or do you think that even if we don't get to the playoffs, as long as there's growth in Trey and we see development in Trey, and every week from week 1 to week 17, I mean, Trey has just gotten better, super better. Do you guys still consider that a winning season, even if we don't make the playoffs? Go ahead, Aaron, and then we'll let Richard answer that after.
There's always a chance that they might miss the playoffs with him just because he doesn't have that experience. However, like you said, we're a really good team around him. I feel like we might have the same record as this year. What was it? 10-7 or
10-7.
If that was our first year under Trey Lance, considering his lack of playing experience, I think that would be a success. And once you're in the dance, as we proved this year, it don't matter, man. It's one game at a time. Your seeding means nothing unless you're, maybe the Rams this year. They just had the better team on the field. But I mean, look at Kansas City, look at Green Bay, all these teams that were supposed to be there. They didn't make it. So getting in the dance is important. It's going to be interesting though, because you're like you said, and like we've all said, he doesn't have that experience, but we played patchwork football with Jimmy, and we played around all his inexperience and all his limitations. I have a feeling if I think Kyle is the coach who I think he is, he's going to find a way to take all of Trey's strengths and use them and figure out a way to build a game plan around what Trey can do and what Trey can't do. If he did it with Jimmy, I think he can do it with Trey Lance, who's got ridiculous athletic ability and heady smarts. He's doing a lot in this offseason already, training and doing all sorts of stuff. So, if we were like 10-7 next year, I wouldn't be too shocked or mad. But who knows? Maybe he'll surprise us all and we'll be like, 14-3 or something. But I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see.
Definitely. What's your thoughts on that, Rick?
Oh man, my thoughts are 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. And that's Jimmy Garoppolo, what he did last year. And I truly believe, even with Trey Lance being a rookie, I feel like Trey Lance could have done better than that. I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo was making just as many rookie mistakes as Trey Lance probably would have made. I feel like Trey Lance is going to do much better than 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. I feel like 2 or 3 of the games last year could have easily been won by Trey Lance. Just some of those particular games, I feel like he would have won a few of those games. My prediction going into last season was 13-4. And I would not be surprised if we get the 13-4 this year, regardless of it sounding like an optimistic point of view, biased 49er fan. I would not be surprised to see 13-4, because if we just went 10-7 and 2 or 3 of those games could have easily been won, that's the way I see it. And then I look at Trey Lance's ability to do better than 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions and his running ability. I definitely feel like we're going to see, better than 10-7. That's just my belief.
Yeah, I agree. I think that with the stacked, depending on what happens with the offensive line and what we do with free agency and who we bring back and who we lose, and then who we draft as well. But I think right now we do have that playoff Super Bowl roster. And I think that even though Trey is young and inexperienced, I think that Kyle Shanahan can just run the game and scheme the best place for Trey. And then Trey doesn't have to do much. All he has to do is, like I said in one of my previous show, he doesn't have to win games. He just needs not to lose them. And we'll be okay with Trey as he develops. The run game is, with Elijah Mitchell coming back for second year, hopefully the Trey Sermon steps up, and we continue to run the ball that way with Debo, and so many factors would take place. I think that the Niners can easily make the playoffs, and like Aaron said, once you're in the dance, you never know how far you can go. And maybe Trey is that it factor that we needed to get over the hump. And obviously, we got to the top of the hill with Jimmy in Super Bowl in 2019 and just couldn't get to the other side. Maybe Trey's the player that we need to not only get to the hill, but to get to the other side finally and hoist a Lombardi trophy here in San Francisco and get that sixth trophy that we've been wanting for many years. So maybe he's that piece. I'm optimistic about Trey. I think Trey's going to do great. I think there's going to be some learning curves. There's going to be some, oh no, Trey, why did you do that? But I also think that he'll learn eventually and become, look at Peyton Manning's first year when he came into the league. He threw, I forgot how many interceptions he threw. He looked terrible. And we all know, I'm not comparing him to him, but I'm just saying he looked terrible, and look how he turned out to be. So hopefully things work out. Now, we're coming towards that part of the show where we're going to do trivia. Are you guys ready for trivia? You guys are ready to take the challenge, and let's see who is up for winning a patch. Is it going to be Aaron and 49ers First Take, or is it going to be Richard and Colts Chronicles? Who's going to win the challenge of trivia? I want to hear you guys in the comments. Who are you guys rooting for? Team Aaron or Team Richard? Who do you guys think is going to answer the most questions? We're going to ask about 7 questions. Out of the 7 questions, who do you guys think is going to get the most answers? Is it Aaron or is it Richard? I love to keep this competitive and just make it fun. And then I'm going to show you guys I should have taken it out of the drawer, but I'll show you a picture of the patch that I'll be giving you guys. J.R. Meadows, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing, sir? Let me just go through some of these questions real quick. Jose Avila, how you been, Jose? It's been a minute since I seen you, man. Welcome back. It says, what do you guys think about Colin Kaepernick as backup? I don't know. I think I loved Kaepernick for what he did when he played for the team, but I just think his playing time is just behind him, and it's just time to move on, in my opinion. Let's see here. What do we got here? You're very welcome, Corey. God bless you and your family. We will all lost somebody at once and multiple times our lives. Thank you guys for showing the love for Corey. I love the family atmosphere in here. You guys are awesome. So, are you guys ready for trivia time? Who are these guys going to win? I don't know if you guys have been. Let me go down to the bottom. We got Aaron says AAR. Ron.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let me show you guys
Thanks, Aaron.
the patch that I'm going to give you guys. Let's see here. You know what? What do you guys think about this bad boy right here?
Beautiful.
Joe Staley patch. And I'm going to set it up where I'm going to put the adhesive on it. So all you got to do is put it on your jersey, iron it, and it'll go right on your jersey. So I have the adhesive tape. I'll put it, unless you guys don't want to sew it, then I won't put the adhesive tape on it, and I'll send it to you like that so you guys can sew it. You guys can let me know of it. But yeah, so are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Are the viewers ready? All right. Let me switch over to the... All right, so this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Trivia. We're going ahead and have Aaron answer first, and then we'll have Richard, and we'll go from there. All right, so let me pick a question real quick Freeze through here. All right. Aaron, number 10 question. How many receiving yards did Jerry Rice compile during his career as a San Francisco 49er? 12,470, 18,442, 14,195, or 16,598?
16,598. I'm going to go with the big one.
All right. Oh, no. Now you want Richard, you get a chance to steal the win from him. Take a guess, brother. Or if you know the answer.
And this is just with the 49ers, huh?
Yeah.
It's hard. Just with the 49ers. I'm going to go 14,195.
14,195. Ooh.
12.
We're
I went on
bringing
the
it-
high end of it because I figured he did most of his damage with the Niners.
Yeah. So it's down to 2, Aaron. So it's making it now it's a 50-50 for you, bro.
Okay.
Now if you miss this one, you know Richard's going to get it automatically. So the pressure's on.
My eyesight is bad. Is that what is it?
18 or 12.
I made it a little bit bigger. Is that better?
I'm gonna go 18,442.
All right. There, ding, ding, ding. There you go. Congratulations. It says Jerry Rice compiled an amazing 18,442 receiving yards and 169 receiving touchdowns during his career as a San Francisco 49er. As if that weren't enough, Rice would go on the pad of his stats even more by playing for several other teams. But that's just the damage that he did with the Niners. Wow, that's a lot right there. Hold on, let me put you guys' name on here, okay? Aaron and Rich. All right, 1 point for Aaron. All right, guys. Let's see who the comments are. All right, they're just watching, and you got Dina going for Niners first take. All right, so now it's Richard's turn. You ready, Richard?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Number 7. What new offensive scheme is former Niners head coach Bill Walsh credited with creating?
The West Coast offense.
Too easy.
Too easy. I know. I'm gonna mix it up.
Too easy.
Uh,
Beautiful. I was like, Rich, if you mess this up, I don't know about that.
hey, I was gonna purposely start to say another one just to scare everybody, but
Oh Lordy. That's too easy.
that is funny, man.
But sometimes the easy ones are the ones that get us. So
hey, sometimes, especially if there's good other, if there's good opposite questions or answers.
All right, I'm gonna give Aaron a chance to get an easy one too. Number 8. Who was on the receiving end of the catch?
oh geez. Dwight Clark, number 87.
All right. I get it. Now I'm gonna start making a little bit more difficult questions. All right, going to Richard. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm trying to. Let me see. Yeah. Trying to give it not so easy. All right. Number 16. Let me bring it up a little bit so you guys can see. Number 16. What were the original San Francisco 49ers cheerleaders called? The Gold Liners, Daughters, Niner Nuggets, Golden Girls, or Gold Rush?
Man, I have never heard this one, but just my instinct went with Golden Girls.
So you want to go? That's that what you're going to go with?
I'm going with it.
Wrong. Now it's up to you, Aaron.
Gold Miners' Daughters.
Okay. Ooh. That one's wrong. So now you're down to 2 answers there, Richard.
Oh man, I mean, it seems like the one to go with is Gold Rush, but the way this is going, I like this one. I like this one. I'm gonna go with Gold Rush.
The Gold Rush?
Gold Rush.
If you get it wrong, Aaron gets the point, and he's already a point ahead of you. Here we go.
All right,
How many of you guys think he got it right? Do you think it's Gold Rush, or do you think it's Niner Nuggets? Now I'm thinking that now I'm getting hungry and want some chicken nuggets, but let's see here. Here we go. Ooh!
Wow.
The answer was Niner Nuggets. At Kezar Stadium, the cheerleaders were called the Niner Nuggets. They were known at the time as the only singing cheerleading squad in the NFL. I didn't know that either. Wow.
That's weird.
So I knew the
I
answer
did not
because
know
I
that.
went through these earlier, but yeah, when he said Go Rush, I said, okay, Aaron got the point. All right, Richard, I'm gonna let you. I know, Aaron, I'm gonna let you start off again, only because Aaron has 3 points, you have 1, and I'm trying to make this competitive. So, but that's a good one. Let's see here. Number 18. Which of the following players finished his Niner career with the most sacks? Brian Young,
Right, yeah.
Charles Haley, Cedric Hardman, or Tommy Hart?
Bryant Young. What?
Wrong.
Wait, hold on. Which of the following players finished his career? Oh my lord. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Charles Haley.
Charles Haley. Wrong.
Hey, man, I could have
sure this-
swore I could have swore I just looked at this the other day too. That's crazy. It's not Bryant. Which of the hold on, let me read this again.
There it is right there.
49ers
thought
career
it-
with the most sacks.
I thought it was Bryant Young.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I could have swore, but maybe I'm gonna go Cedric Hardman.
All right, here we go. Ready? There it is.
Holy crap!
Defensive end Cedric Hardman set a San Francisco 49er team record when he finished his Niner career with 112.5 sacks. I don't even think I heard of him.
What?
That had to be in the 60s, huh?
Yeah, but did you guys hear this name? Be honest.
Mm-mm.
Cedric Hardman.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's why I'm so.
Yeah,
I
me
knew it
neither.
had to be
I'm not-
somewhere back then.
I'm sorry. Who got that answer?
Celts.
Mm.
Couch. Okay. Sorry. I was talking and I
that's
kind
all
of could. Okay, so it's 3-2. 3-2. So this will be for Aaron. Let's see here. Let me see here. That one's too easy. We want to make it a little bit harder. Ooh, come here. All right. 21, Aaron. Which 49er quarterback was also a professional golfer? Y.A. Tittle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jeff Garcia, or John Brody?
I'm gonna go John Brody.
John Brody?
Yeah.
Bingo! After retiring as a third most prolific career passer in the NFL history, Niners quarterback John Brody had a second career as a senior PGA Tour professional golfer. He was also a television broadcaster for both sports.
Wow.
Wow,
I just
know
went by guessing. I had no idea.
that. At least you're honest, bro. I appreciate that. So it is 4-2. Richard,
Oh,
you're going to have to step up your game, brother. Here we go. Question number 22. Which 49er linebacker was known as Fudge Hammer? Frankie Newley, if I pronounce the last name correct, Ken Norton Jr., Patrick Willis, or Bill Romanowski?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with process of elimination and just say Frank Noonley
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure it's not it.
Oh, look at it. Frank earned his nickname Fudgehammer from teammate Stan Hinman saying he looked like fudge and hit like a hammer. I love that.
Boom, boom.
There you go. There you
Oh
go.
Lord.
This is getting close. 4-3. I love it. You had Ed Dominguez say Brody, so he would have been wrong. Brody.
Oh,
Let's
probably
see.
John Brody. Yeah.
John Brody, yeah, he's probably the question before. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, here we go. It's Aaron's turn. Who was the first coach of the San Francisco 49ers? Buck Shaw, Frankie Albert, Red Hickey, or Dick Nolan?
I'm going to say Red Hickey.
Red Hickey. Wrong.
Failure.
Frankie Albert.
Frankie Albert. Here we go. Wrong.
Oh, this you got to get it now.
Down to 2 quick. You're 50-50 there, Aaron.
Buckshaw.
Buckshaw. There it is. Buckshaw was the 49ers' first head coach working with such Frankie Albert and Y.E. Tittle and Hugh McKinley. I used to love that running back. Never watched him play, of course. And Coach Vince Lombardi once said of Shaw, that's the right there is a good man and an honest man. Ooh, Buckshaw. First head coach of the 49ers. That I did not know. I do now. I do now. All right, so that's all right, so we got 5-3. Aaron leading the pack. Aaron's leading the pack. Oh my goodness. Senor Richard, you got to step on the ball here, brother. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna just throw one that it's. You guys gonna have to take my word for it. I can prove it if I need to. It's not on here, but when Richard, when Jerry Rice first came to the Niners, he was given a nickname. What was the name of that nickname? If you guys know the history, then you guys know the answer.
Flash.
No.
Oh.
Ding, I'll hit the wrong bell. How does this one's the wrong one? Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, his nickname was Fifi.
Fifi. That's right. Fifi was definitely, and 49er minded.
That was Joe Montana gave him that nickname.
Yeah, Fifi was definitely his name because of the hair that he had. Trent Payne also agrees it was Fifi. So, oh my goodness. One more point.
See,
Richard.
that's what I get for being born in 86. Or on 86. Yep. All right.
So I'm going to give you an easy one, Aaron. I'm going to give you an easy one. When Joe Montana was traded from the San Francisco 49ers to Kansas City, he had to change his number from 16 to 19. What was the reasoning behind him getting 19?
Oh, God.
No, this is for Richard. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say.
So I saved you there, Aaron, because Aaron's already. Oh God.
I should know this. I just watched the Joe Montana thing, and I think he said why.
Yeah,
and I can't remember.
I haven't seen that yet. I gotta check it out.
I'm gonna just guess and say that's what he wore in high school.
Actually, he wore I forgot what number he wore in high school, but I know he wore 3 in college. And I'm gonna answer that. He wore 3 in college, and obviously 16 in with the Niners, and 16 and 3 is 19. So that's why he chose 19 with the Chiefs. I don't know if you knew that, Aaron, or not, but
I thought it. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I thought it was because Len Dawson has retired and his number was 16.
Well, that's the reason why he didn't. Yeah, he would have went with 16, but since he
Right.
had to get a different number, he chose 19, which was available. But then he gave his reasons why he chose 16. And I didn't know, by the way, that his thing was out. The Joe Montana documentary.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I got to check it out. I haven't. It's on Hulu, right, or Peacock, or
Peacock.
Peacock. Okay.
We are blessed when it comes to the Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo thing, because it feels like that thing lasted quite a few years. You know, the Steve Young and the, it seemed like it was a 3-year thing where it was just, I could only imagine what that would have been like.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
We got spoiled with two great quarterbacks, man. Most definitely. Let's do a Joe Montana trivia to kind of move on a little bit. And since you're behind, Rich, I'm gonna give it to you. Still, you got to catch up, bro. Because our boy Aaron just needs one, and he'll win the patch, bro, and he'll rule the trivia of the Niner Sickness podcast. He'll hold that trophy.
Trivia champion.
Okay, now I'm going to read number 4. Montana appeared in 16 regular season games in 1979. How many passes did he throw? 23, 321, 127, and 273.
He appeared in 16 regular season. That was his rookie year, right?
Yeah. Now look at the answer real carefully, bro. I'm giving you a really easy one.
Yeah, but it seems I could have swore his rookie year. I mean, it seems obvious to say 321, but then I'm just kind of thinking, did he even play that much that year? He appeared in 16. It has to be. I'll just say 321.
321?
Something almost tells me to say 23, but I'm going to say 321.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
Oh, Aaron, for the win.
I suck today.
for the win, bro.
Well, because I know Steve DeBerg was there with him, so
yeah.
I'm gonna say 127.
127?
Yeah.
It's
wrong.
23. Wow.
So it's back to you, bro. This is a chance to get some points and not give it to.
All right, man. So I'm gonna just go with logic and say maybe he just came in and took some knees and barely did anything. But it's just crazy. He came into 16 games, huh? That's kind of.
That is weird that it says he appeared.
I'm gonna say 23 because the obvious thing would
23?
be 120. Yeah, 23.
Correct. It says although Montana appeared in all 16 regular season games during the 79 season, he only threw 23 passes. He spent most of the season as a backup on the San Francisco depth chart behind starter Steve DeBerg. So it's kind of
like Trey Lance.
Kind of like a Trey Lance, yeah. So 23, because and it's funny because you think of Joe Montana being this GOAT for Super Bowl champions, and so you look at the higher number, but like everybody, I mean, when you get drafted in the 3rd round, you're not going to be a starter right off the bat. So it's logic that he would be behind Steve DeBerg as a backup for a while. So, coming in here and there, 23 passes, it just seems really low for someone of a Joe Montana background. But all right, Richard has 4 points. He's catching up. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give Aaron the chance to win it. This is where Aaron gets the opportunity to win. And let's go with a Steve Young trivia question. Let's see if I can find one. All right. I don't want to make it too easy either. since you're already ahead. All right, see here. All right, here we go. Oops, where'd he go? Number 10. What fast food restaurant aired a commercial featuring Steve Young 49-yard game-winning scramble against the Vikings in '88? Little Caesars, Taco Bell, Burger King, or Subway? And for the record, I don't know either. So,
Burger King.
Burger King. Here we go. For the win. Is it Burger King? Bingo, Richard. His
All
1988 scramble against the Minnesota Vikings was featured in the 2006 Burger King commercial with Burger King digitally supposed over Young, who eventually stumbled and falls into the end zone. Do you guys remember that game, by the way?
I don't remember the game per se, but I know what game you're talking about.
Yeah, I
Yes,
remember watching
same
that
here.
game. I remember watching that game live, and by the time he got to the end zone, he was tired, bro. He was like, if the end zone was maybe 2 more yards ahead of him, he would have fell 2 yards short because he dropped.
Who was it? Didn't who's the Daniel Jones had kind of like a run where he kind of did something similar a year or two ago where he was just all by himself and he just stumbled on his own feet, but you could tell it just looked like it was exhaustion. Yeah.
Itchy 95 says, I remember it too. Welcome to the stream, bro. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe channel if you haven't subscribed already. Appreciate it. So, my boy, Aaron, you got the opportunity to win a patch. But since there's no losers on the Niner Sickness podcast, and we do give awards for participants, we're going to go ahead and give a patch. Stop it, Aaron, to Richard as well. I couldn't play football nowadays or sports as a kid nowadays, bro. Because remember when we grew up, you had to earn that little trophy. Now you just participate and you get a trophy. I understand why
if I
they
had
do.
a kid, I'd tell him to bring it back. I'd be like, "You're not getting that. You didn't win."
I mean, I understand why they do it because they're trying to build a confidence in these kids. But isn't that like false confidence?
Yes,
If you look, if
because
you
in
really
life
look
you
at it,
fail all the time. In
Yeah.
life you fail.
I'm
you don't
competitive.
get participants in life, right?
Hey, me losing, that makes me want to play again and come back. And
I thought you were going to come cross country and punch me in the face. I'm afraid of you.
nah, man. I'm so competitive, but I love to play. I just love to play games. I love trivia. Like I'll probably never forget Buckshaw, the Niner Nuggets, and Fifi ever in my life, man. You know, hopefully I love to just learn things, but then I love to play. Like, you know, I could make a game. You know, when I'm sitting with my kids, when we're out and about, I'll make games up sometimes, you know, whether, you know, it's just, it's fun, man. It's fun. But, you know, you definitely don't want to just be handed things, you know, but you don't want to destroy someone's confidence, but you don't want to just hand it. You don't want to give them false confidence either, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like I said, I understand why they do it. They do it because, you know, kids nowadays, you know, they feel like left out and so forth, and I can understand why they do it. But to me, as a parent, kids nowadays, it would be hard because I do come from that old school mentalities that you earn everything you get, and you know, and it seems harsh, but it does. Like Aaron said, life isn't fair. Life doesn't treat you fair, and life is not going to give you awards for participation. Either you make it or you don't. Either you have money to pay your bill or you don't. You think your PG&E is going to sit there or your electric bill is going to sit there and go, well, since, you know, you're participating in making payments, we're going to let you slide. The reality is you got to work for everything. And so I get it, but then I don't. But in the token of fun and love, I'm going to go ahead and give you a patch as well for participating. Hey guys, you guys have been amazing. It's been fun. It's been real on a Saturday afternoon. I know there's so many things you guys could have done during this time, but you guys chose to come on my show, and I appreciate it. And everybody that's been watching, and I have quite a few of you still watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you for viewing the show. Thank you for watching my show. Before I let you go, Aaron and Richard, Aaron, give me your plug-in. Where can people find you? Talk a little bit about your show, where you're at, and how they can follow you.
I'm 49ers First Takes on YouTube. Same as Twitter. 49ers First Takes also on Instagram as well. My show is pretty much what a lot of channels are, breaking news. I do a lot of short videos. I do a lot of breaking news. Sometimes I have opinion pieces where I just kind of give my thoughts on something like the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. I do a good amount of live streams. Right now I'm keeping them kind of minimum only because there's not a ton to talk about, but as the season progresses, if we were during the season, it'd be different. And I do collaborations as well. I go on other people's channels. I've had Rich on my channel. I'd love to go on his one day. And on Twitter, if you follow me, I would say 99% of what I put on Twitter is all 49ers stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit of breaking news, a little bit of live stuff, a little bit of, if there's a clip from a show that the Niners were talked about in, I might put that on there. It's a little bit of everything. All it is Niner-centric stuff. So if you would like to be part of it, I would appreciate it. And yeah, I had a lot of fun for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Aaron. It's always a pleasure on having you on here, man. And I am so proud of you, the success that you had in your channel, 4,000K and still growing strong. That's amazing. That's a testament of your hard work, brother, everything you put in, man. So I love when people grow and people prosper, man. I really do. For me, at least, it never is a competition. Whether I have one follower or 10, it doesn't matter. And I never envy anyone else. I am very proud of you, Aaron, and everything, because I know that the challenges you have faced and overcome, man, it's not easy. And for you to still be where you're at, bro, I commend you. If I had a hat on, I'll use your hat I'll take it off to you, bro. Much love and respect to you.
I appreciate that. And the thing, same with Rich, and you and Rich are like very much similar people as far as being like good-hearted. You're people of God. You're just good dudes. I've interacted with you guys outside of YouTube, just instant message or whatever. But I think the best part of this journey of getting to 4,000 subs and just doing stuff is I've met a lot of, for the majority, there's always those sour apples in there, but I would say 99% of the people
I don't mean to cut you off, Aaron, or hey, just give me 1 second. I'll be right back, and I apologize.
Yep.
Just 1
No
second.
problem.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I just wanted to say that it's been a nice meeting all these good people, all the people that I've met through YouTube. On the 49er community, I got to say 99% is a very, very inclusive, very, very loving community. So I'm glad I made the channel, and I'm glad I've got to meet all the people I've met through it, including you, including Kelts, all the other people I've streamed with and done stuff with. So it's been a good ride, and I'm not done yet by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. And like I said, I love watching your intakes, your breaking news. I love watching, I keep up to date with what you put on there, bro. So I follow you, and, you going on. Another cool dude that I like and respect highly is Jesse Naylor.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude, man. And there's a lot of great people on here. Jay in the Bay is another one that I like and respect.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? And there's so many out here that are genuine. They're working hard. They're trying to build their channel, but in the same token, are always grateful for others and the success of others. And that's what I like to kind of involve myself around, people that are positive. I don't care if people are ahead of me or not, as long as they're not, they don't flaunt it. And none of you guys do that. And, Jesse's always been awesome, and I enjoy watching his call-in shows. And a testament to Jesse, unfortunately what happened to him and the channel being taken down, to now being stronger than it was originally is just a testament that people follow good people, and they return and they follow and they support good people, and he's stronger than ever. So, you can hinder someone, but you can never take him out, especially when they have a great heart. And Jesse is one of those dudes that just naturally cares. Him and also John Chaplin is another one, or I always butcher his last name. Sorry, John. He's been on my show, and he's like Jason Aponte. There's so many out there that I like to watch. They're
really good.
And not only that, but the gentleman I'm going to mention right now, this guy came out of nowhere and just blew up YouTube, man. And I think you know who I'm talking about, Rob. Sure.
Awesome.
This guy I think he has a radio voice. Like, you can just hear him talk if there was no video, that voice. But he's an awesome dude, man. This guy just came into the scene. I remember I think when I first ran into the show, he had like 700 members, and I'm like, oh, okay. I go, he's about to catch me up. And the next thing you know, he has like 6,000. I'm like, okay. He blew up, but it's just a testament of his hard work, his commitment. And then when I seen him in Indy doing his first combine, like a child at a candy store, I picture myself through his eyes, the fun that I would have if I was there, and I got to enjoy and kind of experience it through him, what he went through. And that's how transparent he is, man. So those guys are amazing. Real quick, since you're back, Mr. Richard, how can people find you, and what's your channel about?
Just Celts Chronicles, anywhere. A few of the other places like Facebook and I believe TikTok might be Celts Chronicles 49, and then on Facebook it's just Celts Chronicle without the S. I don't know, just a little weird situations where I couldn't make it Celts Chronicles on everything. And man, I've just been a passionate fan my whole life, ever since my first memories. My mom was a 49er faithful for I don't know how many years. So it was just in the blood with the territory, born and raised in the Bay Area. So, I didn't realize how worldwide the 49ers were, as far as New York or Australia, or I had zero idea. I thought it was a Bay Area thing. So it's so cool to, meet guys like Aaron, who's on the East Coast, and, Rob Shue, who I think is up in, I believe, Oregon, and Jesse Naylor's over there in Florida. It's cool, man. It's really, really cool. I used to be super isolated to myself and just text the radio station. But my biggest motivation for my channel was I seen us pass up on Patrick Mahomes. I seen us pass up on a lot of guys. So my main motivation was getting Trey Lance. And, the first appearance I ever had, I was on the Cone phone and I said, hey, there's this guy named Trey Lance. And, at that time it was kind of like, who really knows? And, we did it. So I just, in an almost naive little kid way, I was like, maybe if I say it loud enough, the 49ers will hear me more than just text in the radio station. Maybe someone will hear me. So I just wanted to see the 49ers. I just want to see a Super Bowl. I want to see the legacy be restored. I'm passionate about it. I always have been, no matter how much I try to, focus on other things. It's always there. I love it. So a lot of things on my channel, I'm still kind of filling into exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it. To be honest, I didn't know I would still continue after getting Trey Lance until, I continue to get more subscribers. So I almost feel like it's something I love to do, but I also feel obligation. Like, hey, in a good way. Like, hey, people want to see some stuff. So I'm going to keep trying to grow this thing. And the more I stay away from it, though, at the same time, I start missing it. I start missing chopping it up with, Beto and Aaron and whoever else, I've started to kind of build relationships with. So I enjoy it. I appreciate it. And, come check it out, man. I'm always going to be doing something different on my show, whether it be just news, opinions, predictions, draft prospects. I might start getting more into that. And just, have fun with it, man. It's 49er faithful for a reason. So I try to, just keep it positive, keep it light, and enjoy it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, brother. Yeah, you know, like a lot of, and that's what I love about different content creators. Everybody brings a piece to the puzzle. Everybody brings their flavor. Some people like to bring updates and keep us posted. I don't do that as much. I'm more of the laid back, sitting at the coffee lounge, just talking. I love to talk and hang out and have that, you know, the hangout type of thing. And so I need to keep up to base. So I tune into Aaron. Okay, what's going on? I keep up to, you know, the Alpontes. And so I love watching and supporting. Unfortunately, I'm disability, so I can't afford to support everybody's channel. So I got to pick and choose who I support, but at least I can be there physically, or not physically, but on their show, supporting it that way and showing my love, man. I truly enjoyed both of you guys, man. Hope to do this sometime in the near future. You guys are amazing. Continue to do what you guys do, man, because you guys are doing great job. Continue to follow these guys, man. These guys bring up some great stuff on their channel. You can never have enough 49er content. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Richard has a show tonight at 7, right?
Yes, sir. With the I'm doing it with the younger dude, the Camper Report. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but I believe his name is Benjamin Camperman. You know, I think he just recently got onto Twitter, and I heard him just speak about the Niners. I think I seen him on the Cone phone, and I never knew about him. I seen the way he was talking about it. I believe he's a teenager. You know, I don't want to say too much, but of course he's going to be on my show. But it's the Camperman, or it's the Camp Report, and that's Camp with a K. So, man, he seems like an awesome kid. He seems very knowledgeable. And so when I seen him, I was just kind of like, man, I could see this kid really doing some big things. You know what I'm saying? So we've been connecting a little bit especially over this guy named Marcus Jones, who I hope we draft. And, once I seen the way he was seeing the game, and, I like to look at certain details that maybe a lot of people won't look at. I remember last year in the draft, one thing that really connected me with Trey Lance was I just started looking at all the prospects' feet, just the footwork of like I'll find a detail and I'll just try to zero in on certain details. And I feel like the way he was talking about Marcus Jones, I've seen that similarity on how he's viewing the game. So it just attracted me, and we've been connecting. I've went on his show. You can hit up the Camp Report or the Camperman Report, and you can see we did a show about a week ago. And he's a great kid, man. So go check him out as well. Yeah, we're going to hop on tonight at 7. A lot of times on my show, I like to freestyle. Whatever kind of comes to my mind. I like to read comments, and sometimes I can read one sentence and I can run with it for – you guys probably, know me a little bit by now. I could talk about it for 10 minutes. So, that's me, man. So y'all will be able to get to see it tonight for sure.
No worry, bro. Yeah. So tune in to the Colts Chronicles tonight at 7. Follow him on his channel. Subscribe. He'll be having a live, and make sure to subscribe also to Niners First Take. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night. Stay on the channel. Don't go anywhere. We're going to say bye to the viewers, and I'll talk to you guys for a few seconds afterwards, and then we'll call it a night. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Niners Sickness Podcast. Thank you for your commitment and your faithfulness, man. I truly appreciate each and every one. May God continue to bless each and every one of you on your daily basis, man. Love you guys. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you next time on my next live. Peace.